Hey, what's up DIYers? Mike Bors with the Mike Bors channel. Thank you for watching. We're working on a TV today, and in the event that your TV is not connecting to your internet and all of your other devices are having no issues whatsoever connecting to the internet, you have an internal Wi-Fi module inside your TV that may have failed. In today's video, the step-by-step process on how to properly and safely replace that internal module. Let's get started. At this point, DIYers, I've got the TV resting panel or screen side down on a soft surface. We need to remove this back panel. It's held on by a bunch of Phillips screws, and they're everywhere, and some are hiding. It's important to know, once you remove all those screws, this panel should come off extremely easily. If it does not, you're missing a screw. Try to find it. We've got the space here, and we've got a few Phillips screws. We actually need to remove this also because there are additional Phillips screws underneath here that we have to remove. At this point, I've got all Phillips screws removed, including the base, and underneath the base were those 3 additional Phillips screws. I've got these screws organized and placed in a manner where I will know exactly what screw goes in the exact same holes it came out of. From here, again, it should be extremely easy to pull up. It's heavy to do it with one finger. And again, if it's not pulling up extremely easily, you're missing a screw. We'll go ahead and pull this off with both hands. At this point, the back panel is removed. You can gain access to all the internal parts of your TV. Pretty cool, huh? Right down here is your Wi-Fi module. To the left of it is your IR sensor, and that is that red light at the very bottom of your TV that is always on when the TV's off. However, when you turn it on with the remote, the light blinks and then turns off the entire time your TV is running. However, in this video, again, the Wi-Fi module, and you've got a electrical connection point, wires that feed to another connection point to your main board. And on the module itself, you'll find the part number, and I always steer away from using certain tools when working on TVs. However, with the module, let me come to the opposite side and show you what we actually have to do. Right in here is a plastic tab that locks in place on the underside of this aluminum piece here, and then there is a second tab right there. You have to carefully compress that plastic tab ever so carefully so you do not break it. Again, it's plastic, and as you compress that, simultaneously pull up on the module itself to pull it out of this little slot here, and you'll do that for both sides. And I've carefully pulled it out, and it looks like the other side came loose too, and it's still connected to the wiring. There's the bottom side there, not too much to the bottom side here. What we'll do is carefully disconnect this wire connection and carefully raise that plastic tab above its locking slot and shift this connection point outward. Do not break it. And trust me when I say this, you definitely need both hands. And what you can actually do is push down on the outer edge of the plastic connection, and it will actually raise the tab, and then you can carefully shift this outward. Be patient. That was kind of stubborn. It took me a few minutes. Set that aside. Let's go grab our new module. Once you get your new module out of the package, again, there are those little tabs that lock in place in those slots. Carefully shift them in. I'll try to get a good view of it. As shown here, what I can do is come in at an angle on this one and then press this one in place as I carefully compress that plastic tab and push down. And it should snap right into place. From here, grab that electrical connection and carefully insert it. Make sure you line it properly and push until it clicks. And it might be stubborn, but just be careful. You don't want to harm the wiring. You definitely do not want to pull any of these wires out of the connection. You'll notice it's still slightly raised. I gotta keep carefully pushing it into place until that plastic tab is properly seated and locked in place. And as you can see, it is now locked in place. It did make a clicking sound. And from here, it's a good time to check everything. Maybe dust off the back panel, which is the inner portion of that panel there. Also, inspect all your electrical connections, your power board, your main board, your ribbon wiring, your speakers. Just make sure everything's clean prior to going and getting that back panel and re-securing it. One last thing, that wiring goes right in that little slot there on your left speaker. Pretty cool, huh? I've gently realigned and rested the back panel in place, and Before you start inserting screws, make sure all the screw holes are visible the entire way around the TV. At this point, I've got all the screws inserted and secured. Do your best not to over tighten them. That would not be good. You'll run into cracking plastic. We also inserted and secured the base. All right, DIYers, I got everything back together and got our countertop back. From here, go ahead and plug your TV in, turn it on, go to your network settings, and try to connect to your internet wirelessly. And you should be able to at this point. Hopefully this helps. Do us a favor, below the video, you'll see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.